What is going on, everybody? We're here at VIR again today with the GT350. We're here with the Shelby Mustang Cobra Club. It's just a track day today, so nothing crazy, no racing, no time trial, stuff like that. So it should be a fun day because there's a lot of like run groups and nothing really counts for anything, so I can maybe try a few things. Changes from my Hyperfest video are pretty much zero. Few driver comfort things. With the helmet blower. I did put a new plug on the alternator. Hopefully I finally figure out this charging issue system, because it really sucks, the voltage spike that shuts everything off. If you watched my Hyperfest video, I found out that if you unplug the plug from the back of the alternator, it kind of self-regulates around like mid 13 volts or something. You know, so I guess that's kind of like a backup. Now, my spare parts bin for this car, much different than the race car. I have a bunch of extra like sensors and plugs, battery current sensors, the pigtails for a bunch of sensors. So if something goes wrong, like hopefully I can kind of, you know, track it down, fix it, still run the whole weekend. I think that's really about it. So yeah, performance-wise, nothing. My best at Hyperfest was a 203.9. It's gonna be hot today, but hopefully if I can like hammer out some like good solid laps in this thing, really start getting comfortable in it, you know, can I go quicker? Maybe, but we'll see. All right, guys, so I wish I brought you guys with me. It was just kind of like morning warm-up session. Ended up doing a personal best. There you go, 203.75 memory. Because my first outlap was a 206, which even a 206, I'm like, oh wow, you know, not too bad. There was only a handful of us on track, so weather's cool, why not push? Yeah, so 203.7, personal best for me. I think that's about it. I'll download my data, maybe I'll sprinkle a little data into this video if you guys are into that. Because honestly, just being a DE, it's like, you know, just kind of out there running. Oh, car, no overcharge issues and no misfire stuff. It was actually good for those 2 laps. So that'll be the biggie today. If I can just kind of get like good, consistent laps, push myself in the car a little bit more without really fear of it like overcharging and shutting off power steering or something, I think that'll probably be a big plus today. I think that's about it on my end. A bunch of cool cars here, obviously a lot of Mustangs. But yeah, we'll get ready for session 2. Alright guys, so that one, as you saw, was a bit interesting. Went 4 off in turn 11. Car's okay. I do need to replace the scuff plates on my splitter. So these little guys right here, I don't know if you can see them, but they're little aluminum pucks that you can replace, and they're there to protect your splitter. So this track, there's a couple like compression zones where these little splitter biscuits get beat up. What happened in 11 is I'm really trying to push through a little bit more through 10, 11, and Oak Tree. So yeah, just pushed a little too much. I was looking at my data and I braked 125 feet later. So yeah, I pushed it a little bit too far. But I'll keep sneaking back up on it, because that 125 feet later, a delta across breakpoint from breakpoint picked up 0.7 of a second right there alone. You know, so you know, so I'm at the point now where misfire issue's gone, charging issue for the moment seems to be okay, so I can finally start like, all right, let's like push through some stuff, rather than in the back of my head, you know, the car's gonna like freak out and do something funky. All right guys, so here's the splitter biscuit I was telling you about. We're gonna swap them out real quick. All you need is a 4mm Allen. Now it's wanting to free spin a tiny bit on the bottom, but just holding it by hand is enough. There you go. So that's what came off. That's what's going back on. You can see the thickness difference. Now the screw needs to be replaced as well, since that got grinded away too. There you go. So new splitter biscuit is on. I'm gonna do all of them, but super easy to do. They're available on the website. The other cool thing, this was obviously in the video, but if you're new here, are compressible splitter rods. As you can see, they kind of allow the splitter to give upwards. So that way when you hit the curbing or under braking, you know, the splitter doesn't have a solid rod just jamming the splitter into the track. They're also available on the website in 1/2 inch increments from I think about 6 up to about 17 inches. So if you want a set of them, I'll just put a link down below. All right guys, so I wanted to go over some data real quick. Like I mentioned, the red line is from Hyperfest a couple weeks ago. The blue line was this morning session. Nothing huge is jumping out at me. If you see the time deltas, you can see I was actually a tiny bit ahead on this morning. I lost it down the straight going up in through the S's, and you can see the biggest discrepancy is right here, braking around and through to Oak Tree. So if we click right here and we hit GPS, so there's the track map right there. So yeah, so heading into Oak Tree. But I mean, even there, I was not quite 4/10ths down. So I was faster in, but since I ended up gaining a large chunk of it back down the straightaway, I must have been faster out on blue one. As you can see, you know, I got a few little more mile an hour most of the straightaway. And I'm back to almost even. It wasn't until roller coaster here where I finally regained, you know, those 2/10ths or so. So that's kind of all, you know, interesting. I'm at the point where I'm fighting for like 10ths or so. But if I were to bring in when I went off, so even though I went off, there's something we can learn from it. Whoops. So we'll make it the, let's see, the lime green. So heading in through turn 11, and I went off like just, you know, around Oak Tree, or just before Oak Tree. So that's that, obviously why I'm so slow right here. You can see I went in quicker. I carried, it doesn't look like much more, but if we go here and we zoom in a bit, if we do a delta from, we'll say breakpoint on blue to breakpoint on green, I really only picked up not even a 10th, honestly. So it's like hardly anything. I think the distance, I braked, I don't know, 130 feet later or so. But if we do a delta, if we extend it back down to here to where like they all cross over, give or take a little bit, green was up 0.8 of a second. Now, would I have been able to like slow it up a little bit more, and at this point green line would then pick up with red and blue? The last thing to note, I brought in my longitudinal acceleration, so the G-forces under braking effectively is what this middle line is. So if we zoom in a bit, you can see how even though I braked later, I didn't brake as hard and to a maximum G. So it's like I braked later, but I went in trying to carry more speed as well. So like a little bit of a split the difference. Maybe, you know, if I braked at the same spot but braked harder, I think I would probably be okay. Or brake a tiny bit sooner but carry more speed in. But 0.8 over the course of 600 feet going around that turn. So 0.8 may have been a little bit much, but is there a half second hiding in there? Probably, you know. Is there a half second hiding somewhere else? Yeah, you know, I'm pretty sure. You know, so then next thing you know, we're into the 202s and kind of just keep plugging away at it. So anyways, just kind of thought that was kind of neat, share with you guys. Next session's in a little bit. Hot as the track is, might only do a handful of laps and try and work on like a few individual sections or something. right, guys, I'm a little upset because I didn't run a 202, but I did run a 201. So there you go, 201, oh, reflection, 201.93. Blew right through the 202s. Like I said, having a car that isn't freaking out allows me to feel much more comfortable pushing. Along with diving into my data, I dove into it much deeper than, you know, a couple scenes ago, diving into that one part. But yeah, blew right through the 202s to 201.9. So pretty excited about that. It's like almost 90 degrees right now. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Really, I think that's about it. I'll maybe dive over data end of the day. I still have all tomorrow as well. But yeah, I'm pretty excited. Car's finally getting there. Alright guys, as you saw, new personal best, now down to a 201.6. But as you also saw in the video, I got held up pretty bad around the last turn. So what I'm gonna do, let's see, so there you go, 201.6 if we do the memory, 201.6, a couple 202s, 202.4s. So I'm gonna download my data, see how bad I got held up in that last turn. I mean, shoot, easily a couple of tenths, which means now I'm low 201s. It's like, I think there's a 2.0 in this car today. It's a bit overcast, so like weather might stay like cool-ish. So yeah, next session is in a little bit. If I get a clean track, I'm definitely gonna push for it. But let's dive into data real quick, kind of see where I picked up. All right guys, so green is my 201.9 from yesterday, blue is my 201.6 from this morning. Everything looks kind of all right, kind of like a little bit behind, a little bit ahead through some stuff. I was the furthest ahead braking at the end of the straightaway. I believe they call that like roller coaster, but there's last turn where that car was right in front of me. And if I were to snap a delta from, you know, when, oops, it automatically clicked right there, to end of the straightaway, I lost about 3.5 tenths. So that 201.6 could have been a 201.2 or 3-ish. You know, so I'm at a 201.2 or 3. It's like, you know, a few tenths off of a 2.0. It's gonna start warming up, but I think it might be doable. All right, guys, oh so close to a 2.0. Not sure if it showed up in the video. 2.0103 with a bunch of other 2.01s. So, so close. All right, so that kind of answers the question. There's a 2.0 in the car. Today, though, you know, that was second session. Third session, you know, the track's just gonna get hotter, greasier, everything. We'll see. I'll do the one after lunch. I think we got 3 after lunch. I'll do at least one, maybe the second one. Probably gonna skip out on the last one of the day again. Gonna dive over data more. Kind of see where I can find like that last, you know, couple more tenths. See what I can do. All right, guys, so couldn't quite get the 2.0. A couple more mid 2.01s in that session. Track definitely felt like it kind of got a little bit greasier, even though like the air kind of cooled up a little bit. I was hoping for a 2.0, but maybe next time. Still super happy with the 2.01.0. But yeah, all in all, pretty good day. And then highlight of the day. And this little lady came to visit. So anyways, daughter, first time at the track. She's 6 weeks old, but so anyways, yeah, that's about it for this one, guys. Hope you learned something. Hope you enjoyed it. As always, thanks for hanging out, and I'll see you in the next one.